All right, with us now, Rebekah Caruthers, CEO of Fair Elections, a national voting rights organization. Thanks so much for being with us. If mail-in voting were to go away, who gets hurt? Who depends on it?
So there are so many people, millions of people in our country who relies on mail-in votings, the ability to mail-in ballots. When we think about people who live in rural areas where their closest polling location could be many miles away, when we think about young people and their ability as first-time voters to be able to access ballots, when we think about the elderly, many who are homebound and simply aren't able to show up on election day. So mail ballots are good for a lot of people, including the working class in this country.
How could a president get rid of mail-in voting, as President Trump says he's going to do?
He can't. So he could go ahead and bring it on. He could go ahead and sign a fictitious, legally non-legal executive order. But many groups, many civil rights groups and voting rights groups, and people of sound judgment are going to fight him on this. Quite frankly, the states should be up in arms because he does not have the ability to order the states to seize mail-in ballots. Each state gets to decide how they're going to conduct elections. In fact, we have some states now that are 100% mail-in ballots. So he simply can't do it. But also, Congress, where are you? We need you to stand up to this president because you are a co-equal branch of government. The president can't just unilaterally decide what he's going to do. Where's the courts? Where's the Supreme Court? The Supreme Court is the branch of government that's supposed to interpret the Constitution. And here it is a constitutional overreach if Trump moves forward in trying to get rid of mail-in ballots.
Because what does the Constitution say? Who does the Constitution say gets to decide the means of elections?
Absolutely, it belongs to the states. In fact, the states created the federal system. The states ratified the Constitution and provided for the federal government to exist. Now, what the Constitution does say for federal elections, and especially for presidential elections, the Constitution spells out the date that those elections should occur, but it's up to the states to determine how the elections occur. It's the reason why different states determine when their early voting process is going to start, whether or not you can register in person, do same day registration, or if there's a cutoff to registration before it's actually time to cast a ballot. This is simply the state's purview.
It does. The Constitution does say Congress can pass laws, but Congress, not the president. The Constitution doesn't give the president any say in how elections are conducted. It's states and then Congress here. Where do you see this going next?
So first, we have to wait and see if Trump actually signs this executive order. He has blustered over the last few months, claiming that he was going to do things unilaterally, and those things simply didn't happen. So this is a wait and see game. I think Americans ought to be able to determine who their politicians are. I don't think a politician, whether that person's in the Congress or in the White House, or even in a state house like Texas, gets to determine how voters and who voters can vote for. Voters determine that.
Rebekah Caruthers, we appreciate your time this morning. Thank you very much.